right, let's go. What's up, peeps? What's happening out there, man? All big ups to people out there with them good vibes. You know how we do it, man. You know what I like to do is get up here and spread that with you. Sometimes informative, yada yada, man, on to the weird stuff. And that's kind of like what I want to do today. Real quick, it won't be too long, but I hope that you enjoy this. You know what I mean? Wherever you're at, man, big shouts to you, man. I hope life is manageable at the very least, and that your existence is finding its way well to its center of its destiny and stuff like that. And right now it's kind of about existence and how weird it actually is. I know in another video I brought up things about like hard light, things like that, and the distinct, what distinctifies what's real and what's not. And this kind of touches on that again, like talking about those different dimensions and different things like that. Well, the consideration that I was thinking about for a while is mirrors, right? Mirrors and how they can cast things when the angle is right and the light is right. Essentially what a hologram is, and also the same explanation as to how we interpret the waves, right? These waves or whatever, or actually these particles through light, through the interference patterns, creating and making waves that we could perceive as tangible, real things, that are material, tangible things, including ourselves. And so, with that principle, that means that without certain angles, you won't see these things. So, if the angle were to shift, perhaps you see more, perhaps you see less. Um, Other people have expressed that yes, we only see a small range percentage of the whole spectrum, in the light scheme of things, with light and everything like that, and energy and radio waves, the same thing. We barely experience a small sliver, so we're virtually blind in that aspect, and I think another dude named Ralph Smart too. He also likes to bring that up too. And big shouts to Ralph Smart. And if you like Ralph Smart, he's cool, man. I like him too. There's a lot of people out there doing everything that I like, man. I do see you, and big shouts, man. Hats off to you. That they've been doing great things in the YouTube and social media space for a long time. A lot of people out there have. Me, I just like to get up here and just do what I do for the people who are rolling with me, who fucks with me, I should say, or whatever. Whichever way you want to say it. I'm just happy to have you with me. I enjoy it. And, before we go any further, though, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can be up to speed with everything that I do. And so we're going to keep on going. But it's all about the angles. And so without those things, we're basically blind, or without having the instruments to detect these angles and things like that. So with other dimensions too, have you ever looked in the mirror? And sometimes we all need a good look in the mirror, right? To better get a hold on the person that's staring back at us, which is ourselves. But is it actually, just as thoughts can carry substance and sound carries substance and imagery can carry substance, does that image also carry substance? For all you know, the reflection, can it be used as a doorway like other folklore or other scientific queries or ideas have stated in the past and such? Could it be doorways to other dimensions? Maybe it is possible. Who knows? I mean, as it is in front of me, it's not possible, but who knows, right? So with that, alternate realities, can they be true? Is it like on this side is reality for us, on the other side of the mirror would be a flip of that reality, or something that's intricately the same? Who's to say that life doesn't go on in that, you know, existence when you walk away from it? Is it simply because it's there, does it catch everything around it and just mimic it completely, whether you're there or not? Kind of like as a tree falling in the forest, if you didn't see it or hear it, did it fall at all, right? Also interesting to add to that kind of notion, or that way of thinking, like with other notions, that if it is in fact a digital illusion, that it loads itself only to what's being observed, right? Like how everything seems to have this jump off point where it's like it could be observed, you know what I mean, which is strange, right? You have to see it or be in some kind of interaction with it in order for it to pop off. So who's to know whether it's there when you're there or not? But it very possibly could be. As the quantum physics, like, quantum stuff, they like to state that things exist in a superposition, which can be either or, correct? So who's to say what's what? But I love this kind of weird stuff. It make you scratch your head the same way I scratch my head too, and thoughts bobble around in there. But also, the thing I find that's interesting is mirrors don't have to be made of silver and glass, silverback glass. You can also make mirroring with colliding light against the right substance or backing or of any sort, even itself. So, also in our universe, can that be also happening, right? Like there's so much light, there's so much things. But as they go further and further out, the imagery they get back these days, these astronomers and people like that, they like to talk about how maybe they're wrong about this big bang and perhaps there's like another universe before this universe, or is it a reflection, is my question too, right? Is it a reflection? Are we simply watching the same events take place from the other side? Are we, and this is what I'm going to get to, are we in a mirror? You know what I'm saying? Same would go for that, right? On the other side, are they in a mirror, right? Or is it a reflection casted off and we live within these reflections? Which would also open up the door to alternate dimensions, multiples, right? But it would be done by angle of reflection, something cast back on itself to create equal mass, and then could project somehow with the right interference pattern, the right angles, right? The right tools to work with, then could be perceived. So a different frequency, as they would like to say, right? You have to have the right angles, all the right, the coordinates, the logistics. There you go. Where's the logistics? So that's what we'd be after there. But it does definitely have an interesting, interesting point of view, you know what I mean, to think about that the whole time when we're looking in the mirror, perhaps it's us that lives within some sort of a mirror, an alternate that we're not aware of, but there it is. And man, I just wanted to share that with you, you know what I mean? Because like I say, I like to share things, whether it's music or some positive vibes or some information or just something that's trippy, right? And it will also, with mirrors, as people talk about, like if these aliens are there, right, and they can go in and out of dimensions, then possibly that's someone who's figured out the frequency variance to be seen, not be seen, or to actually transfer through in and out of one said reality or reflection into the other reflection or something like that. Since maybe it's like you split yourself, I don't know how that would work, you know what I mean? Maybe it's like, I don't know, they just go away from that. I don't know how that would work, but nevertheless, it seems to be kind of interesting that can also touch on those things too. And also, for the record, I did say on one of my, I was reached out on a limb on one of my predictions, and I said there's going to be more revelations as far as UFOs and things like that. Like people might start seeing them more, and there'll be more talk about them, and it'll actually come to the forefront. And it actually happened. And so I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video that I've done. I'll try to put it in one of the compilation videos, and I will maybe talk about my experience again coming up, as it did happen in the month of December, but it was 2019. But very interesting things took place that morning that I witnessed what I did. And so nevertheless, there was it seemed like a jumping off point, while everybody was talking about people waking up, which is still happening. And, as humans, we're kind of slow to the punch on some of that stuff. But nevertheless, if we're open to it, maybe there is something trying to help you. Maybe it's you from the future. Who knows? But something definitely can give us a heads up or leg up and kind of inform us of possibilities to come. And I did go out on a limb. I said natural disasters, um, specific ones, and I also, and some of those things that have taken place or have come dangerously close to taking place. Um, uh, you know, what do you know, like rivalry, right? I'll say it that way. Rivalry abroad, that was a possibility. Also, um, also internally, that can also, that was another one that was on there too. But nevertheless, there were a few things that I kind of caught wind of that we're pretty much here now. You know what I mean? So even as I share this stuff with you, there's more to it even, but the mirror thing is really trippy. So if anyone else is out there, if you have more to add on something like that, or maybe you're like, no, it's more like this, or whatever you got, positive stuff. I love to hear it. You got some info? Drop it, man, so we can dissect it or get real with it and talk about it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's what it's all about. Other than that, too, also just, I'm a music guy first and foremost. So check out all my stuff, King A.D.S. You know, you can catch me all over social media, King A.D.S. Music, King A.D.S. Flicks, with a Z, um, King A.D.S. Joints, Ayaya the Shadow. Nevertheless, just catch up with me. However, wherever, I'm all over the major streaming platforms too. I do have things to bring up about that on one of the videos too, but for future upcoming future plans. But right now, that's the way it is. But definitely feel free to come along for the ride. And if you like this ride too, I really appreciate you as well. As I just want to be more genuine and authentic and just take the time to actually connect with people and share some of the crazy things that go through my mind. You know what I mean? And have fun while doing it and get the energy out there. So I appreciate you if you watch the whole video. I hope that you stay tuned. I hope you enjoy all the content and more to come. But yeah, man, let that, pick your own brain for a while. Let that mess with you for a while. Angles, light, angles, mirrors. You know what I mean? What's all the possibilities? Are we in the mirror? You know what I mean? If we are, every time we come around to the other reality, we take a good look at ourselves and see where we want to go or where we've been or what's happening now, whatever. But nevertheless, mirrors, man, really trippy stuff. Man, I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you, and I'll be back again. All right, y'all. Much love. Peace.